Shout out to Code Comics and everybody else who tagged me in this. And today we have Megatron versus Juggernaut. Now, obviously, I know why I was tagged in this. A lot of people saying Juggernaut, not even knowing Megatron. But yeah, let's begin. So, with that being said, we give credit where credit is due. Let's start off with Juggernaut. Hope this boy actually does make it someday in Marvel Rivals. But with that being said here, yeah, Juggernaut is insanely durable, magically enchanted, and was one of the strongest beings in Marvel. But considering Code Comics wants it in entirety of Juggernaut in general, we are going to use that here. Juggernaut has been able to beat down the likes of Hulk, Thor, Thing, Colossus, and multiple X-Men at the same time, even Avengers teams, even when Rogue had the power and strength of Wonder Man, even being stronger than him in his ionic state, mind you, which has been able to stagger and even drop Thor in a few blows. Juggernaut ate that like it was nothing. And keep in mind as well, he's been able to shatter the magical barriers of Scarlet Witch and Brother Voodoo combined, even being resistant to certain enchantments, okay? The only way to really get through Juggernaut's armor is the fact that you have to be strong enough to crack it, or you have to have a magical artifact or a magical way to bypass his durability, such as when Thor pretty much had Mjolnir and straight up shattered his helmet, or the time where World War Hulk was actually threatening to break his armor via his own punches. But again, this is where Juggernaut's regeneration does come in here. He's able to regenerate from, again, being incinerated down to the bone, and literally was still up because of his entire rage, just the rage he felt at the time. So again, bro was just too angry to die at that moment. And keep in mind as well, while Juggernaut even currently does not have, you know, the same reputation he does, he's got some incredible feats still, being able to harm the likes of Saturing and even toss him around. And Saturing was confirmed to be able to fight against Thor back in the day. He was also able to harm Abomination, harm Immortal Hulk before he got his, you know, whole moon curse taken away and stuff like that. But again, Juggernaut at the end of the day is a slugger, meaning he doesn't have a whole lot of versatility. But again, he does have his force fields, and because of Tryon Juggernaut, he's able to basically shatter reality with his punches. But with that being said here, that's not going to be enough for Megatron. I'm gonna be honest here. Megatron's not a slugger. He's a gladiator. He's a warrior. He's a tactician. That's not going to help him out. That's not going to be good for Juggernaut in this fight here. Now, one of the few things I do understand, and keep in mind, I am showing Megatron's Or-13 body, by the way, which is the concept of entropy, meaning he also has an enhanced alloy or an enhanced exterior, or basically his entire body is enhanced, similar to the way Juggernaut is, except more natural. And keep in mind, also being able to take Regenesis, you know, attacks from Regenesis Shockwave, who is going to merge all of Transformers IDW, including their shared universes like the Cthulhu Mythos and Dungeons and Dragons. Keep in mind, Megatron also has pan-dimensional innards that basically guard his organs, meaning the fact that Juggernaut is actually going to try to try to steamroll through him. Megatron honestly could just let him do that and just have Juggernaut be pulled apart and ripped apart across the entire multiverse. And keep in mind, Megatron also has antimatter, which bypasses durability. Now, do I think this will kill Juggernaut? No, not entirely. But it's actually going to be because Megatron's entire nature is to bypass durability and shielding. And this is because of his feat with Devoid. Now, who is Devoid exactly? Devoid is a evil, sentient multiverse that is actually able to protect himself from being harmed from other universes or multiverses by actually using his dimensional brand space as a shield, right? This means his entire body, his entire brand space is basically a barrier that prevents him from being harmed from other universes, right? So Megatron, as you guys saw earlier, was confirmed to have injured him, meaning Megatron not only bypassed his reach, he bypassed the brand space that he used to shield himself. And keep in mind, Megatron didn't do this once. He did this twice. All right, he did it twice, 2 times. Meaning the fact that he was able to bypass an entire being's own shielding. Basically, an entire multiverse as a shield, right? The genetic makeup of a multiverse as a shield was bypassed by Megatron with just his simple raw power alone. So, not only does that mean he would get past Juggernaut's shielding, he'd be able to harm him beyond his mystical armor. And keep this in mind, Cybertronians are known to be immune to magic, which actually gives them a significant edge. And keep in mind the fact that Megatron's able to harm someone that was confirmed to be able to consume all of creation, including the likes of microspace, which is a realm not only beyond the concepts of time and space, but is beyond the concept of death itself, meaning nobody can really die in that verse because the concept of death is just so insignificant and non-existent in the verse. And this was a verse created by Micronus Prime, who is a platonic concept. Keep in mind, Megatron also has higher levels or higher tiers of D&D scaling, thanks to the fact that he does exist in the verse. So with that being said here, Juggernaut's biggest disadvantage is his lack of versatility, his lack of defenses against durability bypass, which again is honestly gonna just cost him in the end. And believe it or not, I actually do think because of how Juggernaut fights, it's just not going to work out well. I mean, Megatron could just go into his tank mode and start bombarding him with his dark energy and stuff like that. Or, you know, his antimatter. Which, by the way, if you guys didn't know, Megatron's entire energy-based system is based off of antimatter. Yeah, I know, it's pretty cool, isn't it? But with that being said here, Juggernaut's only way to win is really to probably beat Megatron down until he can't do anything. But again, like I said, Megatron has ways around it. He can use his antimatter to harm Juggernaut naturally and bypass his shields. His energy system is basically comprised of it, so he can honestly bypass Juggernaut's own shielding on a casual basis, considering the fact that he bypassed a being that used its own multiversal brand space to actually be able to shield itself consistently. And I know some people are going to make the arguments, oh, what about Outerversal and stuff like that? Yes, I understand. I've gotten both to Outerversal on multiple occasions on this page and on this channel. But again, that right here isn't going to matter because they're both on the same tier. They're on the same wavelength, the tiers, the scaling chain, all right? They're on the same level. What matters is who can resist what at that point. Because again, we have multiple characters on the same tier or two characters on the same scaling tier. What actually matters is what they bring to the table and how much they can resist. And Juggernaut does not have that much resistance, which will allow Megatron to get the dub.